Today on GarageGuruTV, we're going to weld together and assemble our RogueFab M600HD tubing bender. Hey, this is DJ Martin and welcome to GarageGuruTV. Sitting in front of me here is a piece of equipment that I'm so excited to have here at the shop. It's the RogueFab M600HD tubing bender. RogueFab is a company out of Sandy, Oregon that specializes in metalworking equipment specifically targeted for the automotive aftermarket industry. They offer several benders and other metalworking equipment that are at different price points to fit whatever needs your shop has. Let's take a look at what the M600HD tubing bender can do and what comes in this kit. On RogueFab.com, you can take a look at all of the different benders and other fabrication tools they offer, as well as examples of what this bender can do. Under the Products and Tubing Benders tab, you will see the M600 tubing bender, which is the bender we chose. We spec'd ours out with a 1 5/8 inch 6-inch centerline radius tube die, the weld together kit, the upgraded pressure rollers, and the HD upgrade. The RogueFab M600 and all of its variants are offered in two styles. You can either go for a pre-built and welded kit from RogueFab, or you can go with the weld together kit like we opted for here. The weld together kit does subtract $250 from the cost. I've been assured by Joe Gambino, the owner of RogueFab, that even a novice welder can successfully weld this together and get bending. So I'm gonna go suit up, we're gonna get all this material here on our welding table, and let's start putting this guy together. So in order to weld together the RogueFab M600, you're going to want a couple things on your welding table to help you with the installation. You might want a little speed square. You might want, I don't think you need a tortoise. Once you verify that you got everything in your box and you have everything you need to pull weld together and build the RogueFab M600 bender, the first thing you're going to want to do is clean off a couple of the pieces. The C channel has a little bit of mill scale on it, so we're just going to clean it up with a flap disc. So that all the welds go in really nicely. To begin the assembly of the RogueFab M600, we're going to grab a couple pieces. We're going to grab the two large frame rails that we just grinded all the mill scale off, the small frame rail that we grinded the mill scale off, both of the cylinder supports that look like this, there's two of those, and then the large base plate of the entire bender, which looks like this. So you're going to start with your smaller frame rail and the two cylinder supports right here. The cylinder supports have cutouts on them that will actually slide over this frame rail. So just get it slid in there. You're going to set it like that. You want to spread these out a little bit. Then you're going to grab your long frame rails, and these are going to go perpendicular to the small frame rail and flush at the back. Then you're going to grab your large base plate, and this base plate is only supposed to go on one way. The larger cutout, when you put it on like this, should go on this side. We're just going to start lining everything up. These slots right here are where the cylinder supports go. And then there's two tabs right here that should locate in. Now that we have all of our frame rails, our base plate, and the two cylinder supports all squared up, everything's 90 degrees, everything perpendicular and flat, we're all good. We're going to throw on a couple tack welds. I'm going to throw two right here in the little slots where the cylinder supports register into the base plate. Then I'm going to do a couple just in various places around that you'll see. go on to the next step. So far we have our assembly flipped upside down right now after tuck welding in the cylinder supports, the frame rails, and the base plate together. So we're flipped upside down, and then we have our lower brace right here. The lower plate brace butts up against the cylinder support ends, like so. We're just going to grab our square blocks and make sure we're all squared up. And the instructions say to tack weld it to the backs of the cylinder supports. So I'm going to go ahead and tack those together. Let's flip it over and get onto the front brace. Okay, so we have the whole assembly flipped back over to top side up, and we have our front brace here. The front brace goes in between the two frame rails and slits flush with the bottom, so make sure it's bottomed out. And it also sits perpendicular to the base plate, so we have a couple squares here. We're going to make sure everything's sitting perpendicular. Just verify it's bottomed out, and then you're going to throw 2 tacks on either side of these long slots right here. Let's see what's next. So you're going to grab the 2 uprights. They look like this, and you're going to want to grab 2 of the 3/4 inch washers. These 3/4 inch washers are effectively going to work like spacers, and you're going to want to weld them. You just need to tack them right now onto the top bolt hole of these. The best way that you could make sure that these are orientated correctly is make sure they're mirror images of one another. If they're mirror images of one another, they're going to be on the right side when you install it onto the full bender. The best way to keep them concentric with the hole on the uprights is to grab one of the 3/4 inch pins and just slide it through and go ahead and tack it on. So after you're done welding the 3/4 inch washers up onto your uprights, you're going to want to grab the base that you were working on earlier, sit that up on the table, and grab your 2 uprights. They slot into 2 slots. It's kind of a registers together kind of thing. They slot together, and they need to be approximately 3.75 inches apart. They have a little bit of play, so you're going to want to use a square and maybe a magnet to help you square it up. They also say you can use the pins to make sure all the holes are lined up. I'm just going to go ahead and tack it. It looks all perpendicular and everything's slid where it needs to be, and all the pins are going in, so let's go ahead and tack it up. So now you're going to want to grab your bend wheels. It's these 2 mirror images of each other. You can't miss them. They're big round wheels. And we need to weld a couple things onto these. The first is the sticker guards. So the sticker guards are 2 90-degree bends of like sheet metal, and we just need to weld these onto this side. Make sure you orient these as mirror images of each other with this kind of hook area and the cutout facing towards you. And you're just going to weld these on. There's little tabs that kind of align them. And you only want to weld the inside of this radius because the degree wheel sticker goes on the outside of this. So we're just going to throw a couple tack welds down on this. With that tacked down, we're then going to flip these over, and we're going to weld 2 of the 3/4 inch washers onto the opposite side of where the sticker guards are. And make sure they're on the other side because the washer location is critical on these. You grab 2 of your 3/4 washers, and just how we welded these on to the big uprights, we're just going to do it on here. One of the pins to line it up. Do the other one. Grab another one on this side. Now you're going to go ahead and want to weld together the whole assembly. In the instructions, it details exactly where you should weld it and how much you should weld it. But it also says that if you see a spot that you really think should have some weld for structural rigidity, then go ahead and do it. Just make sure that you're not staying in one spot too much or putting too much heat in one certain area and warping anything. So just make sure you're just moving around in kind of X fashion, just not laying too much heat on one part, and then you'll be all welded together and you can keep going to the next part. Once everything has been welded together, you're going to want to let it cool off and then do like a dry assembly of the entire unit to make sure everything fits properly. Once you make sure everything fits properly and works as it should, you could disassemble it, scuff all the parts, and get ready to paint or powder coat your unit. And with the magic of editing, ours is all painted and ready for final assembly.
Now we're going to install the stickers. Firstly, we'll put on the pressure die sticker on the upright. Next, install the HD additional pressure die sticker on the upright. Then the attachment sticker goes on the upright. Stick the lock pin sticker to, you guessed it, the upright. Now the danger sticker goes on the upright. And of course, a few RogueFab stickers. Now we are going to stick on the degree wheel sticker on the bending wheel that we tack welded the sticker guards to. The sticker goes on the outside radius of the guards and lines up like so. The last sticker is the clamp die sticker, which goes on the same bend wheel as the degree sticker.
To begin the assembly, you need to grab this hydraulic ram right here. This is a common part number you could pick up from Harbor Freight, or you could also pick it up from RogueFab themselves. Then you're going to grab this large bolt and slide it through the base and into the mounting holes on the ram. You have a washer that goes on both sides. And then go ahead and tighten down the nut. Next, go ahead and lay down the hydraulic ram in between the uprights of the machine and grab your W block. You're going to slide the W block over the end of the ram, and you're going to put it on the first 3/8 inch of the larger diameter of the shaft. Then you're going to grab a 3/8 wrench and an Allen key and cinch down the bolt and the socket head cap screw. If you ordered your M600 bender with the HD option, you're also going to have this sleeve which slides over the end of the ram and secures with this bolt and nut. Now grab the 2 long springs in the kit, grab the round end with the large radius, bring it around the W block, and then secure it to the slots in the base plate. And go ahead and repeat it on the other side. Now we're going to assemble all the components of the main axle. It might help to have a second set of hands on this because there are some heavy components, but we're going to try to do it with one set of hands. I think we'll be able to do it. So first you're going to grab the bending wheel with the 2 stickers that you put on before and the 3/4 inch pin. There's only one 3/4 inch pin in this kit. You're going to slide the degree wheel behind the uprights, put the pin in, and you just kind of got to line everything up. Make sure the washers are on the inside. Make sure the welded washer's on the inside. Then you're going to grab 3 of the 3/4 inch washers and you're going to slide those over the pin as well. Now you're going to grab your bending die. Slide that in there. Try not to knock everything over. Slide it over the pin. Then you're going to want to bring the pin in a little bit more. Now you're going to grab another 3 3/4 inch washers to go on the other side of the die. This is kind of a balancing act to make sure nothing falls out, but you can slide all the components in. And lastly, you're going to grab your other bending wheel with the welded washer towards the inside and get it all slid in there. Once you get the last bending wheel lined up, just slide the pin through, grab your safety pin, and slide it through.
If you ordered your M600 bender with the HD option, you're going to want to grab the spring before you install the safety clip onto the main axle. Slide the spring over the pin, compress it, and slide the safety pin through.
Now we're going to install our degree pointer. You're going to want to grab the little stubby socket head cap screw and the piece of welding wire. Just put that through there and then thread this right below where the main pin is. Now we're going to install the pin that connects the hydraulic ram to the bending wheels. So you're probably going to need to spin the bending wheels over, and these 3 holes are the holes that the ram attaches into. You're going to want to start on these holes. So kind of slide it in. You're probably going to have to lift your jack a little and line them up.
Make sure both bend wheels are lined up on the same hole.
Now we're going to install our pressure dies. These are actually the upgraded roller dies that you can get from RogueFab. We ordered ours with a 6-inch centerline radius die, so we're going to set it up in the 6-inch centerline radius hole. So you slide this in, line up the holes, and add a safety pin. If you ordered an HD kit, you'll also have a second die that goes in the back here. And once again, we have the 6-inch centerline radius.
The lower of the 2 holes.
Slide the safety clip in, and you're all set. The final component to go on the RogueFab M600 bender is the clamp die, or it's also called the clamp block. You would typically clamp this onto your tube once you figured out where you want your bends to go, but I'll show you just where we put it in. It goes right here at the front in the 6-inch centerline radius hole. Make sure you put your safety clip in, and you're all done.
The RogueFab M600 HD bender is an absolute necessity for any home garage or fabrication shop. We have started to put ours to the test while bending the roll cage for our all-wheel drive Model A project vehicle, and we are blown away. The bends are clean and consistent with extremely little deformation, and the bends are very repeatable. If you are looking for a tubing bender, look no further than RogueFab.
As you can see, the RogueFab M600 HD is an absolute beast of a bender. We're so excited to have it here at GarageGuruTV. If you want to see if any of the other RogueFab products are a great fit for your shop or your garage, check out RogueFab.com. We look forward to featuring more products from RogueFab in the very near future. Make sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for GarageGuruTV. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Pete, what did you do? Our new intern peed on the floor and on my jeans. Oh! He's like a hose.
Student loans. If it wasn't for those stupid student loans, I'm gonna show him someday. You know, DJ got exactly what he deserved. I meant to piss on his leg. You know, I have a master's degree in sociology, and now I'm reduced to being a billboard for a 2-bit automotive media company.